It's better to give than receive. We've all heard this. Did you know it's in the Bible? Acts 22:35 says, "It is more blessed to give than receive." Mind-blowing, right? This seems like an old wives' tale or some bit of wisdom passed down from a grandparent, but it's actually from God. We have 4 practical and easy ideas for you to consider on how you can make being generous a part of your daily life. And good news, it doesn't always have to be about money. Good News at Work is a Christian podcast ministry. We help Christians improve biblical habits in their life. I'm Rochelle Goldberg. I have over 20 years in corporate America developing and mentoring people on how to achieve their goals, and I am your faith coach today. Over and over again, scriptures tell us we get something from giving. Proverbs 11:25, a generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. Luke 6:38, give and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Proverbs 22:9, the generous will themselves be blessed, for they share their food with the poor. We get something from giving. Feels kind of weird to say that, but it's true. And what a bonus. When you give to others, they feel good too. It's like a win-win. Yay, God. It reminds me of the Friends episode where Phoebe tries to give a selfless gift and just keeps benefiting from her giving. God actually designed it that way. Think about the last time you freely and willingly gave something, money, time, or even a kind word. Did you not have an instant thought about how good that felt? How good you were? Or how happy it made someone else? If you were freely giving to someone, that's a pretty noble thing to do, and it helps you become more Christ-like. God doesn't put specific limitations on being generous, and He loves us for giving. 2 Corinthians, each of you should give whatever you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. Generosity holds a special place in the hearts of Christians. It's not merely an act of giving, it's a way of life. It reflects the very essence of God's character. He has given us so much, including His Son, Jesus, to forgive our sins and enable us to spend eternity in heaven. Generosity was how Jesus loved others. He gave His time. He healed people. He taught them, and so much more. It wasn't just about money for God and Jesus. Their currency isn't money, it's love. And giving naturally comes with loving other people. We have some surprising ideas on how to be generous and ways you can make generosity the most impactful. So, how can we be generous? We're going to cover 4 main buckets: time, things, attitude, and money. First, time. This is our most limited resource, so spend it wisely. Most people are aware of the traditional ways to serve in the church, community, or even helping specific people or groups. Please continue to volunteer, be a greeter, be on the worship team, or dish out food at a shelter or food pantry. But there are 3 more ideas that we wanted to share with you. Childcare. Parents, single parents, church preschool, the nursery classes, they need help. Freeing up time for a couple to have a night out could save a marriage. Giving a single mom a break to take a nap or go get a pedicure can save someone's mental health and invest in spending quality time with a child. Spending an hour or 2 every month or quarter in the church, the preschool ministry, allows a parent to attend church undistracted and could save a soul. Plus, hearing a 3 or 4-year-old sing about Jesus will just melt your heart. Also consider serving at Vacation Bible School in the summer. Not every role involves direct contact with children, but there is always a need. Second one we'll mention, mentoring. Teens, young adults, single parents, new parents, or struggling adults, they need help. If you are a successful parent or working professional, you could spend some time helping someone learn new skills or get prepared for something that could change their life in a big way. Preparing a parent, preparing a resume, prepping for a job interview, navigating LinkedIn, Indeed, or other job boards. You can connect with an organization in your community or even start a ministry in your church to help people that's connected directly with your life experience. If you love stories about mentoring, check out the Christian movie called The Forge. Very inspiring. See the link in the notes. Don't forget to check with your employer to see if they have any programs where you can count your volunteer time to go towards more. One of the companies I work for allow us to convert our volunteer hours to dollars, and that can go toward a corporate grant to a nonprofit of my choice. Pretty sweet deal. The third thing, maybe you haven't thought about this, prayer. This probably seems like the standard church answer to everything, but it's always available to do, and it can help. Become a prayer warrior. Watch the movie War Room if you need some inspiration. There'll be a link in the notes for where you can see it. You can pray with someone or just pray for them. Lift them up to God, care for them, encourage them, and see how God works His work in you as much as He will do it in the person you're praying for. All right, so we talked about your time. Let's talk about things. We might not have cash, but we may have stuff, or we may have something that could help someone else in need. Food and supplies. There are food pantries that feed thousands of people each day. Consider purchasing an extra canned or boxed good the next time you go to the store and drop it off at a charity food pantry, or fill up a box at your kid's school, church, or your grocery store when they have food campaigns. Toward the end of the summer, there are campaigns that encourage school supply donations or toy drives. Fill up a backpack to drop off. Fill up a shoebox with toys and hygiene products with Samaritan's Purse for Operation Christmas Child or Toys for Tots. Plan it in your budget if you need to. We are going to put a link to a list of these organizations we mentioned in the notes if you want to learn more. Donations. Consider places like Salvation Army, Goodwill, or Habitat for Humanity. Maybe there's something that's completely fine that you were going to throw away, put out on the curb, or maybe you get a gift or win a raffle or a giveaway that is a duplicate, or you just don't want it, but it's brand new, or you just don't need something anymore. All of these things could benefit someone else. Things like adult or baby clothes, shoes, dishes, appliances, cars, furniture, toys that are usable or can be reused. Then there's the ultimate gift, organ donation. If you pass away and have healthy organs, you can give them to someone who is waiting for a transplant. Medical technology makes it possible to donate so many things that can help change people's life. Check your driver's license to see if you are a registered donor. If you're not, be sure to register online or make sure you seek this out when it is time to renew your license. We will have a link in the notes for you to learn more. Maintenance and transportation. Some churches have ministries to help the elderly. Widows with a household need help with repairing appliances, painting, lawn care, or just someone who needs a ride and Uber is too much for their budget. One of my churches offered a car care ministry where a group of members once a quarter would offer oil changes or simple car repairs like spark plugs, belts, wiper fluid, windshield wiper replacement. They would do it in the parking lot of the church for anyone who could not afford it. There are some really creative ideas out there. If your church doesn't have a ministry that fixes things, and you know how to do that, maybe consider, should you start it? Or see if you can connect to another church that does offer this kind of ministry and offer your skills to help them. Meal trains. These are very popular when someone is recovering from an illness or an injury, or when somebody has a new baby. This is a group that is formed of generous friends or church members to help neighbors, coworkers, family members, friends, other church members, or whoever needs help. The members of the group would each sign up for a day to take a meal to someone. Depending on how many people are in the group and the needs of the person in need, meals can be delivered nightly or weekly for a period of time. What a great way to provide some nutrition to people who just don't physically have the energy or the ability to cook a meal for a period of time. And it doesn't have to be limited to physical health either. My husband and I got connected to a ministry through our church called Commission 127. They support foster families. We fostered for a season, and I know firsthand how hard it is. We wanted to help any parent who volunteered to be a foster parent. A group of about 10 of us from our church rotated each week to take a foster family a meal. It wasn't necessarily because of the financial need of the family, but it was just to give the family an easier night. That was one meal that the mom didn't have to plan, didn't have to cook, clean up, and it was time for the parents to just connect with the foster kids. Time to focus on homework or spend time together playing outside. Time to just be a family. Communication. Sometimes giving can be as simple as expressing your appreciation, acknowledging celebrations and milestones. Giving someone a direct communication doesn't take much time at all, and it lets people know that you're thinking about them and that you care. You can send cards or emails or do DMs on social to wish someone a happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy Thanksgiving, congratulate them on a new job, completing a degree, or on their adoption or birth. Little things can mean a lot to people. You can give through engagement. There are Christian YouTube, audio podcasts, social influencers, and content creators that need your help. Anytime one of these ministries or people help you connect to your Creator, when they help you understand the Bible more or help you love people better, you can give back to them. Take a moment to leave a review or follow an audio podcast. Leave a thank you comment, like a post or story, watch an entire video, share it with a friend, subscribe or follow on YouTube or any of the social platforms. Each time you engage in these ways, it helps the ministry or the person boost their presence on the platform, which in turn helps them reach more people. The more engagement a post of a video gets, the more attention the platform gives it. It starts suggesting it and sharing it with others it thinks are like you and will want to watch or interact with the content. All engagement activity helps to spread the message of Jesus all over the world. Imagine if you were able to boost a post or video you really liked, and instead of you being the only person that saw it, it was suggested to 100 more people just because you liked it. You could give the gift of Jesus just by subscribing to a YouTube channel. I am amazed when I look at my YouTube reports to see people watching from Africa, India, the Philippines, and more. Any online ministry is now a virtual mission field. You can help spread the good news message to others every day. All right, we talked about time. We talked about things. Let's talk about attitude. You can give to others by being a light wherever God has you planted. We all go through challenging situations in our life, but who could be on the other side of your generous attitude when things are tough? Your soft skills and tenderheartedness can make a real difference. Here are some things that you can start doing or keep doing. Your demeanor. Do you show others how much you trust God? Encouragement. Do you tell people how you see that they're making a difference? Or how much you think they have the skill or knowledge and strength to do something hard? Defending vulnerable. Do you stand up for children in your community? Do you stand up for people in your community that are being treated unfairly or wrong? Recognition. Do you say, good job, well done, to people who provide a service to you or that you work with? Do you send notes to tell people thank you? Influence. Do you have a position of power at work or in the community where you can influence outcomes that help people? Certainly within the constraints of the law, but can you give to others things that are within your power to change that could help others by removing barriers, removing challenges, or helping someone with struggles? Grace and forgiveness. We can all give more grace to people, and we all need to forgive each day. Are you a grace-filled driver? Do you give grace when mistakes are made and you're inconvenienced? Is there anyone that needs your forgiveness so that you can start to fix a relationship? Hospitality. Do you open your home to serve others? Dinners, parties, get-togethers, small group meetings? Do you do extra little things when you have someone stay overnight at your home? Be generous in secret. Matthew 6:3 says, "But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing." Be humble and make sure your motivation for giving is because you want to help. It shouldn't matter if anyone sees what you're doing. God knows, and that's enough. Last but not least, time, things, attitude, money. The one that everyone thinks about when you hear giving. It's the one that seems like we're being asked to do more than anything else. One Christian habit we should be practicing is to have a budget line item to give to our church. Tithing is a standard Christian principle to follow, but there are other ways, creative ways. We can give money, but first, it's important that we're being a good steward of our money. Our money comes from God. He provides us with skills, talents, opportunities to earn money. It belongs to Him, and we're just here to make sure it's being used wisely. Not having debt is giving yourself peace and opening up situations where God can use you for His purposes more. If you're in debt, or if you don't have any margin to give, giving money to something or someone can feel like an impossible thing to do, or at a minimum, it doesn't make you feel good to give it. Dave Ramsey, one of the biggest financial guys, says, if you live like no one else, you can live and give like no one else. We will be able to give to help others and build the kingdom and live a great life. If you're feeling the weight of debt, please focus your giving on tithing and the first three things of time, things, and attitude. And get a plan in place to help make your situation better. If you need help figuring out a plan to get out of debt, you may want to consider getting a financial coach. And we highly recommend you learn more about a class called Financial Peace University. It's offered by Ramsey Solutions. They work with churches all over the U.S. to offer these classes. If your church doesn't offer it, you may be able to tap into another church in your area or find a virtual class on the Ramsey website. More details about both of these are in the notes. Get a plan to become a cheerful giver. One more area to get organized is with your will and your beneficiaries. You can give to your family by making sure you have a will in place and have clearly identified beneficiaries for all of your investments and savings. Don't leave your finances up to your family to figure out when you die. They will already be grieving your loss, and now they have to deal with things like probate and all the other legal stuff, sorting out things on top of being heartbroken from losing you. If you love your family, make sure your wishes for all of your money and investments and possessions are organized. Make it official with an estate planner. You will be able to give your family peace and money if you take some time now to create a plan. One more thing about wills. You could also give to other ministries and charities as a part of your instructions in your will. This is easier than you think. You can contact an estate planning attorney, or you can use a website that focuses on this type of service. We know one called Mama Bear Legal Forms. We'll put the link in the notes. Check it out. See if it works for you and what you're trying to do. Once you're in a solid position to give beyond tithing, there are all kinds of options for you to consider. You can give to help spread the gospel. There are organizations and missionaries that go all over the world to help people with basic human needs, and they teach them about Jesus. Places like Compassion International. They bring food, clean water, and Jesus to children. They seek out people to support a child with a monthly monetary gift. They will send you information about that child, and you can even exchange communication with them. To give to missionaries, check out your local church and see how they are supporting people in the mission field. Sometimes the church will already have a fund in place for them, or they know who they are and you can give directly to them. Many missionaries are required to raise their own support, so they will greatly appreciate an unexpected monetary gift. Spreading the gospel doesn't have to be just an international focus. There are so many local ministries that operate only from generous people giving. Start with your church ministries to see who may need some support, and then you can take it to the internet to support other gospel-spreading ministries all over the United States, all over the world. One of my favorite ways to give is paying it forward. This is where you step in and just pay for something. You hear about a need and you just take care of it. I have seen this happen, and it is one of the biggest joy moments that there is in the world of giving. Imagine a single mom whose beat-up car just dies and she has no way to pay to get it fixed and no way to get to work to support her family. Someone hears about her situation, goes and buys a used car and drives it to her house and just gives it to her. Imagine going through the drive-thru of your favorite restaurant or coffee place, and when you get to the window to pay, the employee says it's already been taken care of. You have no idea who did it. No idea who you even need to thank. If you're in a situation to give in big ways, or even creative small ways, it is so much fun. Psalms 112:5. Good will come to those who are generous and lend freely, who conduct their affairs with justice. Hebrews 13:16. And do not forget to do good and to share with others. For such sacrifices, God is pleased. Generosity is a practice that when you get to do it again and again, it becomes routine. This habit in time will become an instinctive impulse, and it helps you live more like Jesus. And don't forget to allow others to give to you. It is a two-way street. If someone offers to give to you, just say thank you. Accepting someone else's gift allows them to be blessed. We hope we've given you some great ideas and suggestions and that you're feeling inspired to be generous. Be sure to check the notes for a lot of resources of things that we've talked about, and be sure to share this with others if you found it helpful. Here are some other videos that we think you'll like, so check them out. Be generous and keep learning about the good news.